Humidity here in Metro Washington, D.C. And I'll spend a few minutes with you sort of breaking down the weather pattern. We'll give you some tips once again on how to stay cool and protect yourself during this really hot stretch. So again, the forecast today is for 93 for the actual high temperature in Washington, D.C., but the heat index will approach 100 degrees. And here is why. We've got the jet stream hanging out on top of North America. There are two bulges here, okay? So one is the one to the north and west. That's the one located over the Pacific Northwest, where they are seeing record high temperatures, triple-digit heat in Seattle, Portland, Spokane, and surrounding cities and communities. And this extends all the way up into southwestern parts of Canada as well. Just incredible heat and humidity for those folks up there. In the meantime, we are under a ridge of high pressure here locally in Washington. You can see on the right side of your screen there. And that is what's driving our weather over the next couple of days here. And high pressure, eventually it does fade away and slide off to the south and east, and that'll happen towards the end of the week. And when that jet stream dips south, you can see that area of low pressure there in the upper Midwest. As that moves towards us, that'll bring the storm track our way. That will also cool down our temperatures. But we are talking about several days of pretty hot weather. Here we are at 10 minutes till 1 in the afternoon. It's 87 in Washington, D.C., but with the humidity, check out that dew point of 72. It feels like 93. Feels like 93 right now, and that's not even the hot spot. Check out Gaithersburg. You feel like 98 here at this 12 o'clock hour, 101 in Waldorf, and upper 90s in Manassas and Culpeper as well, with mid-upper 90s down through Front Royal and parts of the Shenandoah in the low 90s. And our projected heat index is in that extreme caution zone there, up near 100 today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So this is going to be 3 days of some of the hottest weather of the year so far here in 2021. I can't guarantee it won't get hotter, but this is certainly going to be the hottest weather we've experienced this year and the hottest since last July, where we saw high temperatures surge to the middle 90s. We saw a high of 95 at the end of July last year. So it's been a while. It's been a good 11 months since we've seen heat like this. Okay, so the rest of this afternoon, if you haven't been outside yet today, and you aren't aware of the weather pattern, here you go. It's a little bit of a shock, but we are going to be in the 90s today, hotter than yesterday, and that heat index, that humidity again, the humidity is thick. There's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. That's going to make it feel like mid-90s to around 100 degrees. And notice we don't have much in the way of clouds and no rain chance really today. So this is a good reminder here to limit your time outdoors if possible, especially for the very old. No offense to anyone who's older, but for the older citizens in our community and for the very young, please limit your time. It doesn't take much for you to get exhausted from the heat if you are a small child or if you are in more of the elderly or some of our senior community members, okay? Stick to that light colored, loose fitted clothing. Stay hydrated. That is such an easy thing to do to keep yourself from overheating, and try not to exercise over the next few hours. This is the worst time to exercise because this is the hottest part of the day, basically now through about 6, 7 in the evening. Once you get to late evening, and especially after dark, if you can do so safely, it's okay to get outside for exercise. Even then, though, it will be quite humid. Close your shades, keep the door shut, run the air conditioner. Even if you don't normally do it, it's a good idea to do that. And check on our elderly and senior neighbors. And those who are chronically ill, they may need some additional assistance. Check out with them, okay? And again, close the shades too. Always a good idea to keep yourself nice and cool. Futurecast. I want to show you this just because, again, it keeps us bright, mostly sunny here, but it does pop storms. So if you're watching us from West Virginia, Romney, or down through Martinsburg, you may get a stray storm, and Western Maryland too. Could see a storm drift across the Cumberland, Frostburg area, up towards Hancock as well. And then down through the Shenandoah, there's a slim chance that you could get a storm to squeeze its way towards Strasburg, Winchester, even as far east as Front Royal. That would be just temporary relief from this extreme heat. The rest of us just dealing with really hot conditions with little in the way of chances for rain next couple of days. 93 today in Washington, D.C. low 90s up to Philly and New York and Charlottesville at 92. Even hotter tomorrow. If we get to that 96, that'll be the hottest day of the year so far. That's our forecast for Tuesday, and I've got us at 97 on Wednesday. So more heat, more humidity right on through Wednesday. And even Thursday, when we start to quote-unquote cool off, that's not going to be all that cool because the humidity sticks around with us, and that's going to keep our heat index in the mid and upper 90s across the region. Again, that would be on Thursday. Friday, we finally start to take off some of the edge of that heat, but even that day, I think our heat index will still be around 90 degrees. So we may still feel that heat in between those showers and thunderstorms heading into the end of the week time period. So I see a lot of people. I'm on Facebook now, and I know we're streaming on Facebook, on YouTube, and the WUSA 9 app, seeing some folks asking questions, it's hot inside today. Definitely hot inside. The air conditioning, and don't quote me on this, but the general rule of thumb is air conditioning is only meant to cool you down about 20 degrees cooler than what it is outside. So if it's 95, that means it's only going to really cool your house down, your apartment down to about 75. So just bear that in mind. When it starts to feel like 100 degrees, it makes it tough to cool down your home, your apartment, your mobile home, whatever complex you live in. So just be mindful of that again. Okay, so if you have any questions about the weather, I'll try my best to answer those questions. But for the most part, the next few days, again, the extreme heat is the weather story. Again, let me see if I can re-queue up my computer here. It's not cooperating with me right now. But the idea is that we're going to hold in the 90s here for 3 days as this region of high pressure sticks around here and brings the heat to the mid-Atlantic. Again, this pattern does break down for the weekend, which is not good news for outdoor plans, but it is good news for those who don't like the extreme heat. As we approach 1 o'clock, we've popped up to 88 degrees now. Our heat index is at 96 here in Washington, D.C. That's why the heat emergency was declared by the D.C. government. That's because they expected the heat index to be 95 or hotter, and we're already there here. And it's only 1 in the afternoon, or about to be 1 in the afternoon. 96 is what it feels like here in Washington, 98 in Frederick, 101 in Waldorf, feels like 98 in Manassas, and it feels like a toasty 95 in Martinsburg. And again, our heat index will be flirting with 100 next several days here in Metro Washington. So again, you want to, a quick reminder, you want to make sure you stay hydrated, take those frequent breaks this afternoon. The heat index will stay above 95 probably until about 6, 7 this evening. And again, it's not just staying hydrated, it's limiting your time outdoors, sticking with that light-colored, new loose-fitted clothing. And make sure that we keep an eye on our elderly neighbors, those who are chronically ill. And of course, the pets, they need extra water, they need shade. Especially our dogs who go outside. Some people have cats that go outside as well. Make sure that the cats, dogs, all the pets are taken care of. And make sure you take care of yourself during this extreme heat. Again, I'm meteorologist Chester Lampkin. We have more of a breakdown of this weather forecast hour by hour, and we talk about when the storms will bring relief to our heat. That's on the WUSA 9 mobile app. So if you're streaming us there, you can check out that story there. And of course, follow us on social media. Top or Shut will be back later this afternoon with another update, and hopefully he can bring some better news for you all as we try to get through this really hot stretch of weather. Have a great one, and thanks for joining us.